What's up, everybody? It's Carl Cleveland from the land. I'm here to break some news, sad news on the passing of Pernell Sweet Pea Whitaker. It's been a tough week. Sweet Pea was a 1984 gold medalist. He was a unified and lineal welterweight champion, and he's one of the best defensive fighters of all time. I'm glad I did not do this video when I first found out that he passed, because it was hard. I had felt like I had lost a family member, because Sweet Pea was the reason that I began to love boxing. Of course, as a kid, everybody loved Mike Tyson, but when I was watching him, I really didn't understand it. I just knew that Mike knocked everybody out. With Sweet Pea, he showed me the art of the sweet science of hitting without being hit. He was the best defensive fighter that I've ever seen. Floyd Mayweather is close, but it's really not even a question. Sweet Pea could stand right in front of you. Sweet Pea could stand in a phone booth and you still wouldn't hit the guy. Southpaw stance, great straight left, nice jab. He is what you would want out of a fighter, because he always came to fight no matter what. Some of my favorite Sweet Pea fights were when he fought James Buddy McGirt in a war. Of course, you got the Oscar De La Hoya and the Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. robberies, but I'm not gonna lie to you, it's an unknown fight where he was fighting this Cuban cat. I cannot pronounce his first name, but his last name was like Hurtado. And I remember thinking that, man, Sweet Pea might lose because Hurtado had hit him, hurt him, and knocked him down. And I'm like, oh, come on, Sweet Pea. Come on, man. Don't do me like that, man. That knockdown pissed off Sweet Pea. He got up and commenced to beating the dog shit out of Hurtado to the point where it was stopped. He died tragically from a car accident, where I can't even say it was a car accident. He was hit by a car crossing the street, man. That's not the way that you would want anybody to go, especially one of our legends. I'm really trying not to make this video too long, because I could be here talking about Sweet Pea for hours, because like I said, he was the reason that I really loved boxing. I remember days where I didn't feel good, or I was sick and I had the flu, and your parents let you stay home. I just remember turning on the ESPN Classic and seeing Sweet Pea fights, and I was just like, man, God must have really wanted me to stay home today, because out of all the days I could get sick and not have to go to school, he knew that this was the day that my favorite fighter was going to be on a marathon of ESPN Classic, showing all of his great fights, even the fights that I wasn't able to see because of my age, or the fights I didn't remember. It was awesome, man. I have so many great memories of him. But like I said, my favorite fight was when he fought the Cuban Hurtado, because that was when I'm thinking, oh man, he about to lose. Oh man, come on, Sweet Pea. And I don't know, he must have heard me. He must have heard me talking to the TV. He said, no, I can't let my man Carl Cleveland down like that. I'm about to show you what the meaning of a dog is, man. You can get knocked down, but you get your ass right back up and you commence to putting a beating on that boy. And that's what he did, man. I really have a problem with the Oscar De La Hoya fight, because he made Oscar De La Hoya look silly, and yet he couldn't get one judge to say that he won the fight. To me, that was a tragedy, man. The Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. fight, he beat the brakes off that boy, and they called it a draw, man. I'm glad that back in the day we had real boxing journalists, because I remember the cover of the Ring magazine saying robbed, and that's how it was, man. Everybody knew he got robbed. And you notice that those two fights, he never got a rematch, because even his opponents know that they lost, and they know that if they fought Sweet Pea again, that the outcome will be worse. My saddest Sweet Pea fight, and this is when I really realized that he didn't have it anymore and that he needed to retire, was when he fought somebody else. This was my dad's favorite fighter, when he fought Tito Trinidad, man. And my dad kept telling me, like, son, I don't think Sweet Pea's gonna win this one. Cause he was trying to be nice. He was trying to, you know, because he knew Sweet Pea was my favorite. He didn't want to tell me Sweet Pea was gonna get his ass whooped, man. Son, this ain't the same Sweet Pea that we saw a couple years ago. He done got old, son. I don't think Sweet Pea gonna be able to handle this young man in Tito Trinidad, son. I don't want you to get your hopes up. And you know, we think we know it all. Man, what this old man talking about, man? Sweet Pea invincible. And then Tito Trinidad he just hurt him, man. He just hurt him. But I have so many great memories of my man, Sweet Pea, that will never be forgotten. I'm gonna hit y'all with a saying. Any of the cats my age or a little bit older will understand this from the movie The Sandlot. There was a part in that movie where the little Babe Ruth character told Benny the Jet Rodriguez what he said. Heroes will be remembered, but legends never die. That's how I think of a Sweet Pea. He might be gone in the flesh, but his spirit, his boxing ability is always going to be here because of how great he was in the ring. Rest in power, Sweet Pea Whitaker. And before I leave, to all those guys, especially the Rick Glacers who want to use this time to talk about some of the personal issues he had with his family instead of talking about the type of boxer he was, man, I hope you really burn in hell. You don't know the situation he was going through with his family. You don't know the whole reason why he did what he did, but yet you come to try to shit on his legacy. At this time, I got no respect for you. No respect for the people like Rick Glacers who want to try to tarnish this man's legacy for whatever reason. If you don't have nothing positive to say, don't say anything at all, because this man gave his heart to the sport of boxing, the sport that you supposedly love. He gave his time, his energy, his effort. The man was still training. The man was still teaching. He was still doing everything that we would want our retired fighters to do. So, this is Carl Cleveland signing off. Rest in power, Pernell Sweet Pea Whitaker.